What's going on, guys? And welcome back to Inside the Dome. John, it's been a hot minute since you and I have done this together because I was at a Penguin game and we were off. So how you doing, buddy? It's been a minute.
Oh, I'm doing spectacular right now. As we're recording, WVU is playing Houston at the very moment. So I'm watching that game right now. WVU is currently driving down the field, but I am very excited for this. But
Who,
shout out to
who's
my mom
winning?
who just nobody. It just started.
Okay.
Shout out to my mom who just texted me. That just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I am very excited for this episode.
Thank you to Lance, not Lance. Thank you to Aiden as always for the amazing intro. For the YouTube version, because this one will be going on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday. We will have a YouTube video for you guys, so make sure you go check out the YouTube version. But if you listen to on the podcast platforms, you obviously hear the amazing intro. So make sure you go check out Aiden.
Yes, sir.
He's always linked down in the description for your beautiful faces. But John, week 7 of college football is finally here. John, how did we do last week? Before we get
how
to
did we do? How did I do, baby? Because I destroyed you. I destroyed Lance. I mean, I went 11-4, but out of the 4 times where we went different, I won 3 of the 4. And let's go right into them, baby. Oklahoma, Texas. What was it? What were you all predicting last week? You and Lance did Texas, right? Am I correct about that? Am I correct?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah. You all picked Texas. I picked Oklahoma back in week 5. I said I was picking Oklahoma. So guess what? Oklahoma won. And by the way, that was an incredible game.
Yeah, no, that was a very good game.
I mean, Oklahoma won on the final drive. They scored a touchdown. I was going crazy at Topgolf when it happened. I mean, I was so happy. I was so happy when Oklahoma won, but they're ranked number 5. And speaking of the WVU Mountaineers, they play Oklahoma in about like 4 to 5 weeks. So that's gonna be a big game for. Yeah, I'll be picking WVU for that game. But
no, I'll pick WVU for that for sure.
Let's go, baby. But other matchups too that we differed that I got right in, of course, because I'm that good. Alabama, Texas A&M. I was the only one who picked Bama for some reason. Actually, no, Lance picked
Texas.
Bama.
Okay, but in my defense, Texas A&M actually played a close game.
They did, but they lost. I mean, Alabama, man.
The Red River rivalry, because it's not showdown, it's rivalry, right?
Yeah, I think
it's okay. Red River rivalry. It's hard to say 3 R's like that back to back to back.
Yeah,
say it fast.
Red River rivalry.
Yeah, exactly. It was a close game. This Alabama Texas A&M game, the Ohio State Maryland game was actually surprisingly close. I know Ohio State picked it up towards the end, but it was a very close game at the beginning. I don't know if you were watching it, John.
I saw some of it, but then I saw when Ohio State went ahead.
But another game that you got right that was not close at all.
Oh, let me get into it. Because I don't know why you and Lance both picked Kentucky to beat Georgia when Georgia absolutely demolished Kentucky. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, it was just, why would you pick against Georgia? I don't know, but it couldn't be me. But the last matchup, because I do want to get into week 7, you got this right. And honestly, I was going to pick Wyoming before you picked them before me, and I had to differ from you. But Fresno State versus Wyoming. Fresno State was ranked 24, and Wyoming won. So that was the other one. But also, we were with Dan Smith last week, and he was able to make some late predictions, and Dan ended up getting 6 wrong. So not a good week for Dan Smith. I'm not going to lie. But right now, Carlin is up by 1 in our overall predictions. He has a record of 101-21, and I have a record of 122.
Man.
So it's close between Carlin and I. We're back at it. But we have it's a new week. So we have new
It's
games
always
to
a new
predict.
week.
It's always a new week. So with this week, College Game Day is going to Washington. It's number 8 Oregon versus number 7 Washington. And that game, I think it's like an afternoon game. So it could be very exciting. And I will definitely be watching that because WVU plays right now. So yeah, I'll be able to watch it. But that happened. Top 25, slight movements, nothing too drastic, I would say. Kansas and UCLA both re-entered the top 25. They were in the top 25 before, but after they both lost and then eventually won again, they have now re-entered the top 25. Missouri and Fresno State are now out of the top 25, so I don't think either of them are getting a mention this week, so unfortunate. But the other thing too, Texas and Oklahoma are both on their bye weeks, so neither team will be covered any further. So aside from that, though, let's get into it. You want to do the honors of the first matchup?
Yes, sir. Let's start it out. All right. Syracuse goes to number 4, Florida State. Syracuse is nowhere near favored. Florida State is the favorite, minus 17.5. This game is on Saturday at noon. Florida State's been rolling this team really well. Very, very well. They're undefeated. They struggled a little bit with Boston College. I don't know if they've struggled really any other game. I don't know what you would say.
I'd say Clemson they struggled against too. That was actually a very close game. Florida State
Clemson
versus Clemson.
Yeah, that poor Clemson kicker, dude. That poor Clemson kicker. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, the Clemson kicker was like a sign on that week or something, and like he made the first field goal, and then the field goal that mattered he missed. So
tragic.
Yeah, it's so sad. But yeah, I'm taking Florida State. Florida State probably will be in this college football playoffs. They are the 4 seed right now, but anything can happen right now because right now, in order, it goes Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Florida State. Maybe Penn State may enter that. Maybe USC. We'll get to that. Give me Florida State, though.
Yeah, I'm going to take Florida State, too. Not much to talk about them here. I will say this could be a bit of a quicker episode because I got a game to watch, too. So, for the Mountaineers. So, for some of these easier picks, we're going to keep it a bit briefer. But I will say, though, with Florida State, looking at next week, though, they play Duke, who's ranked 17. So that's going to be a very fun game to predict, but it is in Florida State. But this week they play Syracuse. They're actually 4-2, Syracuse Orange. But I'm taking Florida State, though. It's an easy prediction. So give me Florida State.
All right. Next matchup, number 0, Arkansas. They're not ranked. My bad. Goes into Alabama, who's ranked number 11. Bama is favored minus 20.5. Once again, it's a noon game in Bama. Bama's been a very weird team this year. They haven't been to like Bama standards, in my opinion. They are getting the ball rolling more and more. That Texas A&M game was a lot closer than a lot of people probably would have thought it would have been if you're an Alabama fan. But just the way that game went last year, I kind of had a feeling it was going to be close. And it was really close, and Bama almost lost. But they didn't, so it doesn't. None of that matters. Arkansas, Bama, minus 20.5. Bama
Take
better
Arkansas.
Yeah, right. Bama better have harder games down the road because I'm not a big fan of Bama. But those Georgia Bulldogs, man. Those Georgia Bulldogs. But give me Bama. John? Yeah. Yeah, John, what's up? What's your pick for the next one? For Bama, Arkansas.
I'm gonna take Bama here. They've been on a good roll, I would say. They've been on
roll tide, roll
tide, baby, I guess. But
never.
I mean, the past 3 weeks, though, they played Mississippi, beat them pretty well. They were ranked 13 at the time. They beat Mississippi State, then they beat Texas A&M. So they're on a little roll here, I would say. And once again, oh geez, okay. There's after this week they play Tennessee, so that will be a fun matchup to predict. And
Where's that?
It's at Alabama, and I hope you pick Tennessee so you can get it wrong. So, yeah, I'm going to take Alabama, though, for this week. They play Arkansas, so easy prediction there. I'm taking Bama.
All right. This might be a hard matchup to guess, guys. I don't know what this one. Number 1 ranked Georgia goes to Vanderbilt. Once again, it's I'm assuming it's a noon game. It's not listing it. Vanderbilt is not.
It is.
If you're surprised, Vanderbilt is not favored this game. I know it might be shocking. Bama's favored minus 31.5. I feel so bad for their fans. I feel so bad. Give me Georgia.
Yeah, Vanderbilt is 2-5 right now. Georgia is 6-0. I mean, I think it says enough right there. Vanderbilt, I mean, if there's any hope, they couldn't even beat Wake Forest. They got killed by Kentucky, lost to Missouri, lost to Florida. Yeah, they stand no chance. It's not even worth talking about them. Anything interesting for Georgia in the upcoming weeks? They play Florida. They play Missouri. Okay. They got some interesting matchups though. Next 4 weeks. Florida used to be ranked, so they play Florida. Houston just scored a touchdown against WVU. I completely missed it, so that's not good. Yeah, they play Florida, play Missouri, who was also previously ranked. They play Ole Miss, and they play Georgia. So that's a tough 4 weeks there. So, but this week though, easy prediction. I'm taking Georgia.
I will say before we move on real quick, because we're not going to talk about this long, I feel like for some odd reason this could be like the Auburn game, where Auburn was like not supposed to get close at all, but we'll see. Obviously Georgia's going to win, but there is that small possibility that could be like that. Oh, I am so sorry. Just smacked my mic. But yeah, we'll see.
Do you want to know how Houston just let up a touchdown?
I would love to know.
Or Houston got a touchdown off of WVU from a kickoff return here. Yeah, it's 7-3 right now as we're recording this. So major
you get the ball back. Anyways, number 3, Ohio State goes to Purdue. It's noon game on Peacock. That's how it's labeled. Don't know why they do this, but yeah, obviously, give me Ohio State. Ohio State is favored minus 19.5. It's in Purdue though. Ohio State's been very iffy at the beginning of start games, so for some odd reason they can crank it back up. So hopefully Ohio State shows a little bit more consistency because next week, John, you know what's next week?
Oh, next week, baby. Penn State versus Ohio State. Oh, I can't wait for that matchup. It should be college game day.
I think it is going to be college game day for sure. It's already big noon kickoff. That's confirmed, but they don't have a time yet for the game. And I have a feeling it's a noon game?
It says on Safari it's at noon.
Last I looked, it was TBD.
Yeah, I think it just got updated. So yeah, it's a noon game.
I have a feeling that's where college game day is going to go. So it might visit Ohio State twice this year because it's hate week at the end of the season. But yeah, for now, Ohio State. John?
Yeah, I was going to just preview their upcoming schedule. The only thing interesting is the Penn State game, but Ohio State's winning this game. Purdue's not a good football team. I don't know when they ever have been a good football team last time I remember, so... And again, they might have been good at one point, so I apologize, Purdue fans. But I'm taking Ohio State here. Very easy pick.
Yep, as always. Now, this next pick might not be very, very easy. Actually, wait, sorry. I jumped down a pick. My bad.
Yeah, Indiana. You're not there yet.
Goes to number ranked 2, Michigan, Ann Arbor. Obviously, Michigan is going to be favored. I'm assuming it's a noon game as well.
Yeah, I think it is.
Hold on. I'm looking.
It is.
Might not be.
It is. I got the times up right now. This is the last of the noon games here.
Okay. Yeah, Michigan is favored minus 33.5. I don't know. It's a nail biter, but give me Michigan.
Yeah, give me Michigan too. Indiana is 2-3 right now. They're irrelevant since they lost Michael Penix Jr., or Penix Jr., I should say. Michigan, on the other hand, they play Michigan State next week, but I don't think this could be close. Then Purdue, then Penn State. So they got a while till the Penn State matchup. So they're probably going to get some easy W's here. So speaking of Michigan, I just got an ad of the Michigan game versus Indiana on the broadcast for the WVU game. So that's funny.
Listening.
I'm taking Michigan though. Easy pick.
All right. Moving on down the line. California. Yeah. Cal plays number ranked 16 Utah. In Utah. Utah is favored minus 10.5. This is a noon game as well, it is saying, but I doubt it is.
It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock.
It's noon o'clock their time. Spreads minus 10.5 from this game. How has Cal been this year? Like, let's think of it this way.
They're 3-3. And okay, I will say this. Their last game, they played Oregon State, who's ranked 15 right now. Or I think they're ranked 15. At least last week they were ranked 15. And Oregon State won 52-40. So California put up a good fight, I would say. And then against Washington, who's ranked number 7 right now, they only lost 59-32. So California has a good offense. I will say that.
Yeah, it's a little difficult with this game. Who are you taking?
I'll take Utah here. It's at Utah. California, though, while they have been competitive against ranked teams, they have not been able to beat a ranked team. So for that reason alone, I don't think they'll be able to finish. So I'm going to take Utah for this one.
Yeah, I'm not keep on the same trend, but I am going to agree with you on this. I think Cal could have a really good chance of beating them, but I don't know. This is a game that they could win, but you said they've been competing well, but they haven't won yet.
Yeah.
This could be a game they could win, but with it in Utah, I think this is going to be a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. But this next game is the college game day. This is probably the game of the week here. Washington versus Oregon. And I'm very excited for this. This game is in Washington. Carlin, what is the odds for this game? I cannot pull it up right now.
Washington versus Oregon. Washington is favored minus 2.5.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, if anyone actually wonders, the over under 67.5. We normally don't talk about that, but that is the highest one for the top 25 this week.
Okay. I'll do a little preview for everybody, or at least of how each team has done, because this is a tough one to predict. This could go either way. So Oregon, so far, they dominated Stanford, they dominated Colorado, they dominated Hawaii, they barely beat Texas Tech, who that is a team that WVU beat, dominated Portland State, and that's been it. So that's Oregon so far. Washington, so far, barely beat Arizona, didn't dominate California, dominated Michigan State, dominated Tulsa, and dominated Boise State. So Oregon has Bo Nix. That is their quarterback, and when he has fun, he cooks. Washington has Michael Penix Jr., who honestly could be one of the Heisman candidates right now. Last week, he had 363 passing yards, no touchdowns, though. So he was a little dry in the touchdown stats, but he's a very good passer. This game could really go either way. It is a coin flip, but I'm going to pick first. So it really could go either way. I could see Oregon win this game. Oregon's done well. I always love picking Michael Penix or Bo Nix. I always love picking one or the other. But you know what? I'm going to take Michael Penix because I will always remember Michael Penix beating Penn State a couple years ago when he was with Indiana.
That was a bad game.
That was a very bad game, but I will always remember Michael Penix for doing that. So, I believe in him. I believe in him helping me get this W here. So I'm going to take Washington. Carlin, you know what you got to do here.
You stole my pick.
But you know what you got to do here.
I know what I got to do, but I don't want to do it.
But you got to do it.
Okay, hear me out. Bo Nix is a Heisman candidate this year.
No.
That's not a question out. He, like you said, when he has fun, he balls out. But then again, if you're having fun, aren't you going to ball out either?
I will say though, Bo Nix should probably ball out in this game. That's why it's not an easy pick. It really isn't.
That's why the over-under is so high too.
Yeah.
Because both quarterbacks are probably going to ball out.
Yeah.
I don't want to take Oregon, dude. I really don't want to take Oregon.
But you have to.
Washington is going to win this game.
You know what? Okay.
No.
You know what?
I will take Oregon, but I get to go first for one of the other games later. Deal?
Fine.
So you have to differ from me to make it fair.
Okay.
You okay?
You know what? You know what?
No.
No, you're not even confident in your pick. I don't want that on this show. And for me, I'm a 50-50. You know what? Bo Nix is going to have fun. I'm taking Oregon. I changed my mind. I'm a 50-50. You're so confident in Washington. You can take Washington here because they're going to lose. That's what's going to happen. Washington is going to lose, and I'm going to laugh all weekend. I'm going to laugh all weekend when Washington loses. Bo Nix is going to have fun this week. He's going to have fun. Michael Penix, he is going to choke. He is going to choke hard this week. You can take Washington. You think they're going to win, so you can take them. Because I'm taking Oregon this week. Let's go, baby.
State of Washington.
Let's go, Ducks. They don't do it for clicks. They don't do it for clicks.
It was let's go Huskies.
What?
Anyways, moving on down. UMass goes to number ranked 6 Penn State. SEC versus Big Ten. This doesn't happen that often, but it's happening this week. Games at 3:30. Penn State, I'm sure, is definitely favored. Yep. Minus 41.5. Also, it's Massachusetts. I thought Massachusetts was SEC.
No, don't ask me. UMass is 1-6 right now. I will say that
they're an FBS school.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Penn State loses this game, they shouldn't even be ranked at that rate. Give me Penn State. John.
Yeah, I'm taking Penn State too. I'm going to keep it very brief. I mean, there's nothing we could even talk about with Penn State because they just came off of their bye. Next week they play OSU, so that's going to be the tough game to predict.
That will be the game of the week, for sure.
It will be the game of the week, so I'm taking Penn State as well.
Also, just to clarify something real quick, as Penn State fans, I think one thing John and I are looking forward to the most is seeing how that offense does. Because the past couple games, our offense hasn't been like stellar in the beginning of games. For some odd reason, they keep it close and then they start to blow out later down in the second half. So I'd like to see the offense getting clicked earlier. I don't know if you want to say anything real quick about what you're hoping to see from this Penn State game.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it right on the head. They got to figure out the offense this week before they play Ohio State because this offense can't be struggling next week. It really can't be. I believe in the defense, but they have to have a great offensive showing, and they got to let Drew Aller cook this week. They really do. Just test some throws. You don't have to run it the whole game because I feel like they're going to win no matter what. So they just got to figure out some things this week.
Well, the other thing is you want to be very, very careful because next week is Ohio State. So
yeah,
and that will be Drew Aller's first time going into a massive stadium. That's not his. So we will see. Moving on down. Number ranked 23 Kansas goes to Oklahoma State. I was going to say, John, you didn't take your pick, but you did. You are rocking with Kansas this week.
Yes.
I'll let you go. But Kansas is favored minus 2.5. This game is a 3:30 game, but I want to hear your thoughts because I have yet to make a pick.
Yeah, so this is two Big 12 schools, so I kind of have to talk about them. a good amount. Kansas, their only loss was to Texas, and they did not have Jalen Daniels. But last week they didn't have Jalen Daniels either. Kansas has been a very good team. If Jalen Daniels does play, it's an automatic Kansas win, but I can't confirm that right now if he's playing. He didn't play last week. Oklahoma State, they did beat Kansas State, though. They got killed by South Alabama. But they've been up and down, Oklahoma State. Not that great of a team. Kansas, though, it really just depends on their quarterback situation. But I'm going to take Kansas here. They're ranked. I like their team overall. And especially if they have Jalen Daniels, they should win this game.
Yeah, I know we're trying to differ a lot, but I 100% agree with you on this game. Their quarterback for Kansas, Jalen Daniels, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if he starts.
If he starts,
out the past 2 weeks.
It's an automatic win for them. They've been playing great football. Texas wasn't really good, but other game was really good. So yeah, I'm going to take Kansas. And we'll go from there. John's typing something right now. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. All right. Oh shoot! I clicked the button. All right. Texas A&M goes to ranked 19. Tennessee, baby. Tennessee, 3:30 game. I'm most likely gonna say. I'm pretty sure the game's at 3:30.
It is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, 3:30 on CBS. It's actually at Texas A&M.
No, it's at Tennessee. What are you looking at?
Sure.
What are you looking at?
So I pulled up the NCAA football schedule, and it says Tennessee versus Texas A&M. Oh, I guess it doesn't say that. Why would you put it the other way around? Oh, because they want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's so stupid.
Buddy.
Anywho, it's been a day, bro. It's been a day. Yeah, Tennessee's favored -3. Last time, John didn't pick Tennessee. And John, what happened? What happened with Tennessee?
Let me hear. Tennessee, so last time they played, they beat South Carolina because Spencer Rattler is not a good quarterback.
Oh, no.
And I would be surprised if he even gets drafted in the NFL draft this upcoming season.
He's going to be like a Stenson Bennett.
Who?
Draft-wise. Yeah.
Oh, he's got to go undrafted, in my opinion. If anybody drafts him with an actual draft pick, you are an idiot.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have selected Spencer Rattler.
I would give up on the Steelers. I'd bandwagon another team.
We're almost there. But you already know.
Yeah, John, I already know. I'm taking Tennessee this week.
Whoa! Sorry, that was really, really loud.
Yeah, it was. I'm taking Tennessee because Texas A&M sucks. I picked Bama against Texas A&M, and Texas A&M, they kept it close, but Bama won. So I just don't see Texas A&M winning. It's at Tennessee too. I don't like Tennessee, and I know they're going to lose pretty soon. So I'm taking Tennessee though for this week.
You want to take out your headphones?
Yes.
All right, so he took out his headphones. I'm going to sing in a second. But yeah, Neyland Stadium will be rocking this week. I mean, with Rocky Top, you'll always be. With it being in Neyland Stadium, it's going to be like a very interesting thing. I think Texas A&M will keep this close a lot. He's going like this with his headphones. What's bro doing? You'll always be.
Okay, I can hear you still when I take out my headphones. It's just very quiet.
Okay. Home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Anyways, like I was saying, John, you can put back in your headphones. I think this game will be actually really close. Really, really close. I think it's going to be a battle of who's going to win, obviously. But I feel like Texas A&M.
It's going to be a battle of who can win.
new goal alert. Try not to score touchdowns in football.
This is gonna be a battle of who can win.
Hey, new goal in college football. Try not to score touchdowns.
Okay, you're taking Tennessee because I want to get to this next game here.
No, but I think you can agree with me. This game is going to be super close.
It'll be close, I will say, but I'm taking Tennessee though. But now, why are we talking about this team coming up here? Why are they even getting
okay? In
recognition?
In fairness, it's going to be a new led team, but continue.
It is. Yeah. So, do me a favor, Mr. Pitt fan here. Do you know who? Do you know who's starting?
Whoa. Don't call me a Pitt fan. Do not call me a Pitt fan.
Okay. So
that is calling me a New England Patriots fan to me.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
you were saying
Louisville, who just beat Notre Dame in good fashion, they're playing Pitt. At Pitt, a team that is utterly garbage this season. They are 1-4. I don't even know what their win is, and I don't even care to say it because Pitt fans they don't even no, Carlin. They don't even deserve to know. Nobody listening deserves to know who Pitt beat because they are a terrible team. Their starting quarterback, Phil Jurkovec, who WVU absolutely destroyed. He is converting to tight end, and that I think that just says it right there for Pitt. They
it was
are.
Wolford.
Why did you say it? Okay. Yeah, that explains it right there. That's the only win that Pitt could get. So I don't even know their starting quarterback, and I really don't even care to know their starting quarterback because Louisville Cardinals are going to absolutely destroy the Panthers at Pitt. So I'm taking Louisville here. Pitt is just poverty right now.
So it's Christian. Whoa. How do you even say this? Veilleux.
Oh, wait. Okay. So that's who he is. Villo. I'm assuming. Okay, so that actually is something to talk about because
he's your age too.
It's not even just that. He's a former Penn State quarterback.
Yes.
And he was last season he
transferred.
He did. Yeah.
Because Drew Aller joined.
He was like the third string last season. I remember him getting some playing time. So he is a running quarterback, I would say. But yeah, he's a former Penn State quarterback. So yeah, he's gonna be the starter actually. So yeah, thanks for the mention there.
He's a redshirt sophomore. He's born 2002. He's from Canada. Weirdly enough. Shout out to Canada. Pitt's not favored, but Louisville's favored by 7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
You're taking Louisville, and I'm taking Louisville. But. I think Pitt's going to play actually a half-decent game this year. Phil Jurkovec was a horrible quarterback, and I think you can even say he was a horrible quarterback. I have no idea why he played for so long as he did. And he did a Travis Kelce. He switched to tight end. He switched his positions. But if it was any other team besides Louisville or any other ranked team, like that wasn't ranked, you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I could see Pitt winning. But I can't this week. I don't really care for Pitt. Never have. Never really will unless if they're in the championship. Of course, I'm going to root for Pittsburgh. But that's not happening anytime soon. So, as John wrote in the comments.
Can I say it?
You can say it.
I won't mark it this episode explicit because this isn't that bad. Eat shit Pitt.
As John said, give me Louisville.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will say one more thing, just because. So obviously John's in West Virginia. I'm back up at home. It's supposed to rain all day Saturday.
It is.
So that can determine a game here.
Oh, Louisville's still winning.
It's a grass field. Just saying. But anyways, yeah, give me Louisville. All right. Auburn goes to number ranked 22 LSU. John, are we finally in the night games? Probably not.
We are. Actually, the Louisville-Penn State game was at 6:30. So now this starts the 7 o'clock games.
Yeah, Auburn.
So, yeah. I will talk a bit because LSU, they have had a very up and down season. They had to struggle a bit against Missouri, but Missouri was ranked. So they won 49-39. But Auburn's put up some good fights, though. Do not discredit Auburn this week. They're 3-2. Their only losses were to Georgia, and that was barely a loss, and they lost to Texas A&M. Other than that, Auburn has won their games. So this really could go either way. Auburn has a chance for an upset here. They really do. But this game is in LSU. And I'm going to take LSU because I feel like I've taken LSU the majority of weeks, especially in close matchups. But I love their offense. I love LSU's offense. Their defense has been very suspect. But I'm not a fan of Auburn's offense, though. So I'm going to take LSU this week.
Yeah, I'm going to take LSU as well. If this game wasn't in, it's not Death Valley. What's it called? Do they call it Death Valley down there?
I think it might be
because they call Death. I think it's called Death Valley, and then Clemson's also called Death Valley.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter. If this game was in Auburn, I could see Auburn winning this, but since it's in Death Valley, give me LSU.
Yeah.
All right, next game. Arizona goes number ranked 19, Washington State. Washington State's favored -7. John has yet to make a pick, so I'm curious. John, why have you yet to make a pick?
Why have I yet to make a pick? Because Washington State, they disappointed me the other week, I believe.
Yeah,
They're only ranked 19. Their loss was, I know where I think they disappointed. Well, they played Oregon State, and actually they beat Oregon State. That made me mad. And then they lost to UCLA. So they've been a little shaky. But next week they play Oregon, which is going to be a very fun matchup to talk about. But they play Arizona this week. Arizona is 3-3, and they lost to Washington. You know what? We got to talk about this real quick. Arizona last week played USC, and that game went to like double overtime. I was watching this. Yeah, we were at Dan Smith's house. You were asleep, and I was watching the end of this game.
You should have woken me up.
Now you were out like a light, so I was up still. This was like almost at 2 a.m., and they're going back and forth for some reason. But Arizona made this game close against USC. USC barely won this game. So I think they were at the 2-point conversion try point. And I think that's how it ended. I'm not fully sure, but I think that might have been how it ended. But Arizona can put up a fight against ranked teams, and they've proven it. So it's not an easy pick, but it is in Washington State. So, what are the odds for this one, if you can pull them up?
Washington State's favored -7.
Okay, I'm going to take Washington State because it is at home. Arizona, though, could pull off an upset, or they could make it competitive, I would say. But
I hate to do this to you, but I kind of agree here. I think Washington State's going to win this game. I mean, Arizona could make it competitive and make it really close, but if Arizona beat USC, I would be like so much more confident in this pick to pick Arizona. But
yeah,
the triple overtime, and obviously didn't watch it. I was asleep apparently.
You were out like a light.
I was knocked out. John's like, Carlin, football's over and stay up. I was like, oh yeah, I'm so tired. Yeah, what was that voice? What was that?
I don't know what that voice was.
It's the voice that's picking Washington State. Give me Washington State. All right. Missouri. What happened to Missouri last week?
What happened to them? They lost. That's what happened.
Yeah,
the first loss of the season, might I add.
Who we pick? Who did they play?
Last week they played LSU.
And LSU won. And we all took LSU.
Did we all take LSU?
We did, I'm pretty sure. Because we had this conversation. We did.
Yeah, we did. We all did.
We had this conversation. So, with that being said, Missouri versus Kentucky. Kentucky had a hard loss last week against Georgia. Kentucky's only favored -2.5.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot closer than I thought. It's in Kentucky, obviously. It's a nighttime game, 7:30 on the SEC network. Say your pick, and then I'll go.
Okay. I did make a pick, but I'm going to look at it a bit more. So Kentucky.
If you're looking at it, I'm taking. I was gonna already make my pick because I thought you were gonna say. I'm sticking with Mizzou. I think
You're taking Missouri?
I think Missouri's gonna take a upset victory here.
Okay. That's respectable. Yeah, Missouri was ranked for a while. Now they're no longer ranked. Kentucky dominated Florida. They got killed by Georgia.
Oh, hit my mic again.
Oh man. They beat Vanderbilt, beat Akron, beat Eastern Kentucky, and beat Ball State. So their record's not incredible. They had the loss to Georgia. They have that very good running back though, who had a crazy game against Florida, I believe it was. So I'm gonna take Kentucky here. I am. It's at Kentucky. I think that's gonna have an influence. So yeah, I'm gonna take Kentucky here.
Also, with this being said, Mizzou lost by 10 last week.
Yes.
So nothing crazy. So we'll see. All right. Number 10 USC goes to number ranked 21 Notre Dame. Listen. What the heck happened with Caleb Williams last week? That Arizona defense terrorized that man.
You sure?
From what I saw.
Okay, so I'll read off his stats. I'll read off his stats. So Caleb Williams last week, if it loads, there we go. Yeah, Caleb Williams struggled last week. He only went 14 for 25, 219 passing yards, and 1 passing touchdown. Oh, actually, never mind. Scratch that. He did not struggle because he went off on the ground. He had 3 rushing touchdowns last week. So
They
struggled in the
him.
passing game, though.
Yeah.
Struggled in the passing game.
I think that's why they won, is because they couldn't contain him.
Yes.
So, will Notre Dame be able to contain him? For some odd reason, I have no idea why. Actually, hold on.
Come on.
We're not there yet, dog. Calm down. Hold on.
Do you want me to talk about Notre Dame real quick? Just how they've been? I'll you look up whatever. So
this game's at 7:30. Why the heck does Notre Dame keep having primetime games?
Because they have a very popular franchise, I will say that. But Notre Dame, the past 3 weeks, they've played ranked teams. The past 3 weeks, they got killed by Louisville, beat Duke barely, and lost to Ohio State barely. So a lot of close games in a way.
You're wrong with USC, right?
Yeah, I'll say my pick right now while you decide. I'm taking USC here because I believe when it's in crunch time, I would take Caleb Williams over Sam Hartman. I would say that.
Agree. I do agree on that pick. Yeah, I'm going to take USC.
Okay.
But the next pick, we may differ here. Now, let's talk about this next game, okay? Number ranked 25, yes, 25. Miami, Florida goes to number ranked 12, UNC. Once again, this is a late time game. I'm assuming 7:30.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Why in the hell? You have the game in your hands, Miami. I'm making you relive this, Miami fans. Had the game in your hands. And you say, you know what? Let's not take Mias. Let's run the ball. Why not?
That might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in college football.
The ball. Georgia Tech picks it up, scores, and wins the game.
Yep.
What were you thinking?
Their coach, I could coach better. I would say that.
I'm so sorry, Miami fans. You deserved a lot better than that. But Miami is ranked number 25. You're going to UNC at 7:30. This game, UNC is only favored -3.5. Do you want to say your pick?
Yes, sir. I will say my pick. So, UNC, I believe they were just on a bye week because I don't recall talking about them last week. Actually, okay, last couple times they played, yes. Actually, what day is it today? No, they weren't on a bye week. They just destroyed Syracuse on October 7th. And then the week before, they destroyed Pitt. So thank you, UNC. Every single week, I've picked UNC And I've been right every single time, especially week 1 where you pick South Carolina instead. I will always remember that. So UNC is at home against Miami, Florida, who just had the biggest choke of all time. So I'm taking UNC here. They have Drake May, who I always love saying every single week, is a top quarterback in the next upcoming draft. Last week, he went 33 for 47, 442 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, along with a rushing touchdown as well. He is a very good quarterback. I trust him in this situation. But Miami is a good team. And honestly, they should have won last week, but their coach is dumb. So this could go either way, though. Miami could put up a good fight, but I'm going to take UNC here. I've taken them every week, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to take UNC as well. I was going to pick Miami, but that head coach move, why? Just why? I don't understand it. Listen, if they blow out Miami, then great. If Miami blows out UNC, great, beautiful. But I think UNC is going to get the job done. Also, Drake May, right? Is UNC's quarterback.
Drake May, yes.
Yes. It's hard to remember college quarterbacks and NFL quarterbacks, and then college running backs, college NFL running backs. I mean, but especially when it comes to college, it's so hard to remember who's who, especially because they change every 4 years. It makes it so hard to remember. But yeah, give me UNC. All right, 2 more games, ladies and gentlemen. We're on a good pace here. I told John we're going to be on a good pace, and he didn't believe me. We're on a good pace right now. So, number 8, UCLA goes to Oregon State. Oregon State's ranked number 15. The odds are -3.5. Oregon State is favored. But.
What's the but?
Those UCLA boys, they're going to go in. They're going to stare at Oregon State and say, you've been here for too long. You need to go down a little bit. Give me UCLA to win this game.
It almost sounded like you said USCLA.
USCLA.
So you're taking them. Okay. So UCLA, they're finally ranked again. They got boosted a lot after. Oh, okay. So they lost to Utah, and then they beat Washington State. So now they're back to being ranked again. And if they're still ranked in 2 weeks, we get to talk about Colorado again. So I honestly don't even care how they're doing. But Oregon State, they were the team I rode with at the beginning of the season until they failed me. That was against Washington State. They failed me. So, but they recently beat Utah 21-7, and then they beat California 52-40 on the road. So they're back at home here. I'm going to take Oregon State. It is the home of DJ Uiagalelei. I said his name wrong probably, but I'm going to take Oregon State here. It's at home.
All right, final game. And then John gets to go watch football. I get to watch football, and we get to see you next Tuesday or Monday. Or is that unconfirmed? Probably Tuesday.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Make sure. Great reminder here. Make sure you go follow us on all our social medias to stay updated with our schedule, as it currently changes a lot. As in case of not this coming week, but the following week, John comes home again, so everything's going to change around. But final game to talk about. North Carolina State goes to Duke. Duke is ranked number 17. This is a night game. Duke is favored -3. But let's talk about something real quick. Duke was on their bye last week. Okay? The game before that was the Notre Dame game. Notre Dame injured Duke's quarterback on the last play of the game.
Yes.
Is he out for the season? What's the deal with that situation?
I'm actually not fully sure. Okay.
Because that changes this whole pick for me, in my opinion.
So 3 days ago, he was day-to-day.
Okay.
So I would say he's not ruled out yet, but he's questionable.
That's not what I wanted. I wanted.
Yeah, right. Okay, here's an article 6 hours ago from what we've. It seems to be questionable. Like it'll be a questionable decision.
What was his exact injury? Was it?
It was a leg injury, I believe.
So let's talk about North Carolina State real quick. So they beat Marshall last week, 48-41. They barely lost to Louisville by 3. You beat Virginia. You beat whatever the heck that school is. Kind of played okay ball against Notre Dame, but you still lost 45-24. Beat Connecticut, and that's really it. So they haven't really played anyone spectacular. Like if their quarterback plays for Duke, this changes this whole game for me. Do I do it?
Separate. I already made my pick.
All right, I'm going to take North Carolina State.
Yes, sir.
If like I said, if Duke's quarterback plays, Duke's winning. If he doesn't, North Carolina State will most likely win this game, I believe. But I think either way, it's going to be a really close game. Duke's not a football school, but they are turning into a football school. So congratulations to Duke fans and Duke students. I'm sure it's been a long time coming for Yins. But yeah, I'm going to take North Carolina State. John?
I'm taking Duke here. Even if it's at home, it's at Duke. I feel like I took a lot of home teams this week. Except the USC Notre Dame game, I did not take a home team. But yeah, I'm going to take Duke here. I like what they got. I think they should have a nice rebound game with or without their quarterback. So I will not change my pick depending on the quarterback situation. So I'm going to stick with Duke this week. But this was a shorter episode of college football preview because the WVU game is on as we speak. Last time I checked, it was 10-7 Mountaineers. So hopefully they won by the time you all are listening to this. But that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you all for listening to us. And this will do it for the week of Inside the Dome. Next week, I'm going to hope that we get back to normal because the past 2 weeks, we have not been on normal schedule. We've not done fantasy the past 2 weeks. So I want to start that back up.
You and I will be watching Red Zone because there's no Steeler game Sunday. We could honestly... We might do a review of the Ravens Titans game or whatever good game that happens to push into under the lights and go from there.
Yeah, there could be an additional review episode this upcoming week, or we could do hockey too. Hockey just started up, so we could always do hockey.
We could do a hockey episode.
We could start talking hockey next week. So,
hockey, baseball.
Yes, we could do.
We mentioned baseball.
We could always combine both as well. So,
and Under the Lights will be dropping Tuesday as well.
Yes. So the core 4, I should say, Under the Lights this week in the NFL, fantasy and college football should all drop next week at their normal days, and potentially an NHL/MLB episodes. But make sure to follow the social medias to essentially know what's happening because we'll confirm it on there. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter /X, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. This episode is on YouTube right now, so make sure to follow all of those. You can find all of those links in all of our podcast platforms in the link in bio. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Overcast, go to the podcast website and click the link in bio there. But other than that, I got some college football to watch, so I'm gonna head out.
I got Taylor Swift to watch.
What?
Football game.
Oh, is she there?
She is there.
Oh, God. Okay, we're ending it. Okay.
All right.
With Carlin Jacob, I'm John Dodera. Have a great day, everyone, and see you next time on Inside the Dome.